I'm going to show you how I built this custom credenza use of vinyl record storage with 6 drawers and a stone bench top. First step is the quartz stone was a piece that I found in the back of a factory which makes marble and stone kitchen sort of work, and it's just peeking out there. We pulled it out and I used it for 4 different projects. This was the main project, so the whole stone piece here I had done and marked out so that it was cut custom to the size that I've got for an area that I wanted a credenza unit, and it's mainly for storing my vinyl records. Can hold up to 300 or so vinyl records, but I also wanted to put some drawers in the bottom section and also be able to use the top for display. So the first step I do with all this is I make my material cutting list and I draw out all my plans. I made it a little bit easier for myself by buying some timber pieces. This is a form of hardwood, and just means that I've got the depth that I needed all in one sheet. First step then is to then cut them to size. I'm making basically 2 rectangular boxes that are going to be fixed together, and I wanted to do that so that it's got a lot of strength in it. Here it's just loosely assembled to get all the dimensions. I keep all my pieces marked with the blue tape, so I'm going to pull them apart later on, and I'm going to do all the finishing when they're all separated, and then I'm going to reassemble. So I've kept everything labeled so I can find my way. The bottom's got a cutout to go past the skirting along the wall, and there's a back rail there so that the records fit against that without falling any further than it can, to just get easy access to them. Here I'm making the base, the kicker, and it's all upside down. You can start seeing the cutout I've done because the whole thing is going to have some LEDs, some neon strip LEDs wound all the way through it. So I've got all the routing out so that the neon strip can sit flush into along the top edge and along underneath the kicker as well. And it all hides back through the back of the unit. It's all one 4 meter long section, and the cabling then is then hidden back through the base before it pops out and has a connection to the PowerPoint next to it. The sides here just go straight on, and I'm going to have some pocket screws from the top and the bottom, and also liquid nails it on so that I'm hiding the joins of the side of the 2 rectangular boxes. Plus it just gives it more strength overall. There you can see the routing out of where the LED strip is going to go, and that then connects back through so that it winds down the side and then feeds down through the kicker there, through that hole, before it pops out the front edge so that it then glows from just down in front of the kicker area. I've used pocket holes to join pretty much most of the kicker unit on, and I've got quite a few supports so that the whole thing has got a lot of structure and strength. Everything's solid timber here, so this is going to be quite a heavy unit. And now I've started doing stain, so I'm actually staining it black, and I've done all of it separated so that it was a little bit quicker to do the staining and the finishing while it was all separated, and not having to work through corners and where all the joins met together. After staining, I'm going to do 3 coats of a water-based clear polyurethane, and the 3 coats just give it a really solid protection. There's going to be records sliding in and out, so I wanted it to have a lot of hardness that it would be able to resist any form of scratching and things. So all the units are now split out, and with 3 coats I'm now going to start assembling. Again, the 2 sections done separately. All the screws you see are going to be eventually hidden by the way that the panels are joining together, so you won't see any fixings afterwards. And you'll also notice that the top part overhangs from the bottom because the drawer fronts are going to bring that back level once they go on. And there's the space for the kicker along the wall. Everything's been measured out so that I've tried to work through the final dimensions up against the wall and a flush front with a kicker inset, so that you can't quite see the kicker from just standing right in front of it. The neon strip there I've started to install. When it's going back through the cabinet, I've hidden those parts but also covered it with electrical tape because I don't want the glow anywhere else but just the front row of the kicker and the front immediate section along the top to light up the records. But I don't want glow from within the inside of the cabinet. Now I've got all the drawers cut. These are now not assembled, these are just cut to size. 6 drawers. I hate making drawers, so this is kind of torture for me. And that's how I'm going to join the bottom section. I want them to be very, very strong. So I've routed out for the base, which is a 6mm MDF, to sit within that groove, so that this is a very, very strong drawer and can take quite heavy objects inside. And the routing of the front section doesn't go all the way to the end because that will then overhang, the front piece overhangs from the sides. So that's where you see it stop there. Inside the drawers, I've got a black velvet that I'm going to line the bottom of the drawers with. And the way I'm going to do this so that everything's hidden is I've cut the fabric. I've then used a spray adhesive. I've affixed it on there. And then that's going to slide in to the routed edge. And then I'm going to reassemble the front and back so that the whole thing just comes together. And it's all like wedged in like a sandwich. So I started now putting out all the drawer slides. Again, I hate making slides, and I'm reached a point where trying to make this so that the drawer fronts all lined up was enormously difficult in trying to measure to fix the drawer slides into place. They're push to open and soft close. So there's no handles on the drawer fronts. And it also means that I have to get the width of the drawers exactly right. And that I found very difficult in this job. So here you can see I'm just attaching it with some double-sided tape, which I've just put on there. And that's just for a positioning at this stage. It's not final, but as long as it's lined up then and all the gaps are equal, then I will fix that as the final location of the drawer front along to the 3-sided back, which I had together. The major decorative piece though is, and this is all Tasmanian oak dowel, and you can see I've grain matched the top and bottom drawers, which are different heights. So to do that, I cut them all with stoppers, and it was very time consuming, but I really wanted to grain match all of the dowel pieces. I've glued them onto the front, and then I've also come along afterwards and pin nailed that to keep them very nice and tight while the glue dried and there was no movement at all. Again, there's quite a time consuming process to do all that, but the look of this is very much that I wanted to have the half rounded dowel built into the design of it. It is going to be stained black as well, but at this stage I'm staining that second so that I could fix them, fill the pinholes, and then come back and just finish the fronts, which are now already attached to the back sections of the drawers. So after staining there and just going through that, it's quite a long process, but they look really good when they're stained up. It's going to be in an area where I didn't want the dowel to overtake the look of the stone top. That's where all the crazy pattern is, so that everything down below was more about just being high quality materials, but in some ways just quite a bit more subtle. So you can see there the drawer slides, and now the base slides into the 3 front edges. And once that goes in, I can then just push the back on. Again, there's now a routed out groove for that. and I'm going to screw the back on. You'll never see the back, so I haven't tried to hide the fixings for that. And then the finished drawer with the velvet base came up with a really great finish that I was really happy with. All the sides and the back of the drawer are all Tasmanian oak, so they're heavy drawers and they're very high quality materials. There's no ply or MDF or anything like that. So now fixing it all together, the stone top right now is not fixed on, it's just loosely sitting there, but I've got the LED lights all wired through. And you can do them into different colors, into themes. The way I use them is I'll have it on a timer, so it comes on and turns off at a certain time of the night every day. The drawer fronts, again, push to open and soft close. And the whole look of it is really about having the stone bench top. That's where this piece came off a very large piece that was imported from South America and used in another project. I found the offcut, which was big enough for me to do 4 other pieces from. So again, it's very, very heavy. I'm moving it into place now to its final location. And once it's there, I've got some neutral cure silicone, and then I put the stone bench top back on, and it's now complete, ready for final display. And eventually I'll start filling that up with some of my vinyl record collection. Hope you've enjoyed watching this. Be inspired to make something yourself. Please like and subscribe and check my next videos. Thanks.